向こうにいる敵全部殺せば俺たち自由になれるのか?
Turns out, Eren was not the only person to ask this question, because I think Hitler was Eren Yeager reincarnated. But Hitler looks nothing like Eren, and he doesn't remember being Eren. So if this really is a reincarnation, how would we even follow him into the next life? Well, parts of Eren will need to come back, and that first thing is Eren's name. Eren Yeager's last name comes from the German word Jäger. So both Adolf Hitler and Eren Yeager carry a German last name, signifying their German ancestry. Speaking about ancestry, let's talk about their family. Isn't it extremely weird how both Adolf Hitler and Eren Yeager had older half-brothers? Adolf Hitler's half-brother was named Alois Hitler Jr. Hitler would say their father, Alois Hitler, was amazing. But according to Alois Hitler Jr., he was an absolute madman. Doesn't this sound exactly like Zeke? Eren's half-brother, Zeke Yeager, also hated their father, Grisha Yeager. Is this a coincidence?
I think not!
But is that nearly enough to prove reincarnation? Absolutely not. Which is why we have to talk about their love life. Eren spends almost his entire life with Mikasa, yet he only admits his love seconds before she absolutely slices his head off. And Hitler does practically the same. Although he was with Eva Braun for so many years, he only marries her 40 hours before ending it all. And yes, her last name was Braun, like Gabi Braun. I hate that. Now, it seems that the puzzle pieces are connecting, but that's not it. So, everything before this, you could call a coincidence. But can you really stage anything when you're a kid? No. And when Eren was a kid, he almost died during the fall of Shiganshina. The only reason he didn't was because Hannes grabbed him and Mikasa, dragging them out before the Titans got there. And Hitler has a similar story. At 4 years old, he reportedly fell through the ice of a frozen river and was pulled out by a man named Johann Kurberger, who later became a priest. Think about that for a second. Both of them should have died as a child. Now, that's not something you could script, but surviving isn't the same as becoming a monster. So what happened? Well, that brings us to the government they created. Now we need to talk about how did both of them actually rule? Well, both Eren's Jaegerists formed for the sole goal of making Zeke and Eren have contact and to start the rumbling, and Hitler's Nazis both took over broken countries that were surrounded by enemies. They overthrew their own government and wiped out anyone who disagreed with them. And they put all their faith into one man. And once these governments were in place, I let the both of them do their most violent act. Both Eren and Hitler commit arguably the largest genocides in fiction and in real life, with Eren Yeager starting the rumbling and wiping out over 80% of humanity for the purpose of saving his homeland. And Hitler started the Holocaust to erase Jewish people from the world, and both strived for the ultimate goal of global extermination of the outside race. And that is the final piece that connects the two. So, is Adolf Hitler a reincarnation of Eren Yeager? Well, considering that Hitler essentially relived Eren's life, I can confidently say yes, Adolf Hitler was Eren Yeager reincarnated.